Welcome. Hello. Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with I, Enchantress, the Babbler, on our revolutionary rise of high that is happening here at this time. It's kind of late, guys. I'm a hot mess. Take me as I am. I was cleaning a lot, like all day. You just get through, like, I have these, it's the Virgo traits in me where I get a little neurotic with certain kind of things. And it's like everything has to get clean type of thing. And it's funny too because I end up making a bigger mess than when I first started. So I end up taking longer than necessary. But whatever. Okay. So welcome. So I was kind of gonna do like a freestyle, which is always a freestyle and things like that. And then I was like, wait, no, we gotta talk about this too. So I'm kind of gonna talk about this too, kind of mixed with a freestyle and see how long this goes because I gotta be up early anyways. And so let's dive into it, right? So we have an upcoming solar eclipse, right, in Libra that I think it's like October 14th or something like that. And this is beckoning us to welcome, to embrace, right? To have your eyes open. Oh, maybe you have to have your eyes open, okay? Your eyes open, arms wide, and it's like emerging like the phoenix. It's like you're emerging. You're you're the phoenix rising out of the ashes. Right? In whatever shape or form of experience that was for you, in whatever level up of rebirth this is for you, it's going to be different for everybody. And for each of us, right? Um, for each of us, it's going to be different, but for each of us, it's it's hitting many different compartments. It's not just one compartment. Like we're multidimensional beings, right? So this rebirth, this phoenix rise is it's really hurting me. Hold on, guys. All right, sorry about that. Either way, and then when I split the deck, right, like we got here reattachment, right? So I feel like it's like that. It's like you're reattaching the parts of yourself. And then two, this eclipse is heavily influenced by Venus, right? Which is the planet of love. So there might be a few awakenings of coming out, like the phoenix rising out of the ashes here, right? Because it's also tightly aligned with the sign of Virgo as well. So it's going to be like you're meticulous about it too. Like, all right, so solar eclipses happen all the time, right? Um, they're intimately tied to like periods of profound self exploration, revolution, right? And inner transformation, right? So it's this reattachment of you, right? In all that you're doing, right? So it's like it's the feral child too, right? What does the feral child mean? I just want to look this up. So this is like one of those decks that um you come with the why I can't talk. Forgive me. Um you come with it comes to the principle. Maybe it's because it's so late. I don't know. And I've just been at it all day. An uncivilized child makes his home in the wild, feeding on himself when no other sustenance is available. Right? So someone unwilling to conform to the norms of society, a loner, living life your own way, self-reliance. And this reattachment, right? This reattachment in your own self-realize. That's bothering me. So here, yeah, reattachment. Look at after a violent dismemberment, a young woman gathers her limbs and does her best to stitch herself back up together. Although she may never be the same again, her courageous decision not to remain a victim serves as an example to us all. So yeah, so I just feel like, right? And look at the beast, right? The beast. I'm just looking down, right? The beast. I forget what that means too, since we're here. This is not going to be a long video, guys, because I have to go. Envy, and I just saw envy. So you might be dealing with a lot of that kind of crap too. Still, right? But we're not going to focus on what can't be changed. But all we can do is focus on what we are able to control, which is ourselves, our choices, or the things that we decide to do and stuff like that, right? So let's see. Hideous creatures sprout like weeds on top of a worried man's head, a manifestation of his fearful imagination. Possessed by these foul notions, the man's hijacked mind will likely lead him to ruin. So yeah, so this reattachment, this feral child, this that you've been doing, and the battling and the slaying of like the beast, right? So it's right when these cosmic events like occur and stuff like that, right? The moon, when the moon is new, right? It moves between the earth and the sun, right? And it momentarily, when there's a solar eclipse, right, it's casting a shadow, obscuring the sun's light, right? So when this happens, right, like in astrology and stuff like that, the moon represents our emotions and our inner desires, right? So while the sun symbolizes our ego, right, and our expression, when the moon shadows the sun, like in a solar eclipse, it serves as like a cosmic reminder for us to pause, to reflect, right, and dive deep into the recesses of our own inner selves, right? So look, you might be dealing with some people that refuse to change, to transform, right? So this is going to awaken you even more further to having to let go even more so than you realized even before. And you could be doing this already and stuff like that, right? Because solar eclipses are important catalysts for unveiling to us that which we may have been avoiding or neglecting, right? And there could be certain kind of things that are coming into light, right? Because others want to take a bite and shit like that, right? So here we are, right? So we move, look at Backstabber. There could be somebody talking shit too about you. Look at poison, studying poison too, right? They could be 42, they could be 24, they could be 44 years old. They don't have to be. They could be a life path number 6. They could be a life path number 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 8, 2. Could be a life path number 2. Don't have to be. Right. So you might be dealing with the closing of chapters of certain kind of things, right? That so it's like any kind of pressing issue or things that need to be addressed, like certain kind of issues that need to be addressed, so that you could fully move forward in your life, like closing the chapters to certain things that don't serve you anymore, right? So this could bring certain kind of challenges and certain kind of levels of uncertainty, but this time offers like an invaluable opportunity for us to grow, right, and self-discover again. So if you're dealing with certain kind of backstab, like certain kind of like energies that could be talking shit, like instead of telling you about it, right? So that could be the refusal. That could be the refusal. The refusal for them could be that they refuse to put their tail between their legs and come to you correct, and instead wants to talk about it, talk about you and your issue or whatever the case may be, behind the scenes to everybody else and their mother except the person that they need to be talking to and shit like that. So you could be dealing with something like that too, like, catty shit, petty shit, gossipy shit, toxic shit, or whatever, right? So we're preparing, right? Because there's going to be a major shift, a major turn. There is a major shift, there is a major turn and stuff like that, right? Because eclipses are too, look at dismemberment. So certain kind of things are being dismembered so that you could be reattached. So dismemberment towards the backstabber, right? They might be falling apart on the inside, acting one way on the outside, but meanwhile they're a fucking mess on the inside, right? So this is an invaluable opportunity for self-discovery and growth. And people that are stuck on this type of energy, you can't move forward with people like that. And you're starting to see that, right? Or you already know that, right? So prepare too for unexpected twists and turns, because that's what happens with solar eclipse. They're unpredictable. That's why we have to talk about it. I'm probably going to talk about it a little bit more in another kind of video too, because I do have to go. And I want to touch light on it and stuff like that. I wanted to come on camera anyways, because I'm just like, even though I'm a hot mess and stuff like that, I rarely come on camera anymore and stuff like that. And so whatever the case may be, I was being also random, you know what I mean? Hot mess and all. So accept me as I am or fuck off. You know what I mean? And that could be the attitude too. That could be the attitude too. It's like, take me as I am. Take me as I am. Here I am, I stand. Oh, what you thought this was, man? Oh, you thought this was another day that you should just come and say and do whatever it is, and you think you're gonna make and do with me as you please, or talk about me and then come to my face and smile, please? Please. Right? So you can start standing up for yourself just a little bit more. That's what I even said. I said it on I created a post and stuff like that. And you don't have to be where I am. And it doesn't have to be confrontational, and it doesn't have to be problematic, but it is going to be authoritative to yourself, right? Because this is justice for yourself, right? What you didn't do before, it's not like, oh, I'm going to be all rah-rah now. You don't have to be rah-rah. I'm with peace. But you're not going to disrupt my energy in my presence. So it's like, I posted and I said, if you're in the business of faking jacks, or you want to live a life of, let me see what I wrote. Right? Before I start like babbling it, and and you'd be like, "That's why you just didn't say that." And I'm like, I was trying to say that. You know what I mean? But yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, just so that you know, if you don't like me, right, and you're putting on an act around me, I now would definitely call it out. And it's not that you're being problematic. It's like, you're not going to disrupt my space. I'm not going to walk away from this space feeling a certain type of way because of your fucking energy towards me. Yes, I read this accurately as fuck. And now I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Now I'm not going to act like I don't feel this, I don't sense this, I don't know this. No, you're not going to walk away thinking that you got one energetically over, and it's not about ego either. It's either correct yourself or get the fuck out my face. Though you don't need to be around me. You don't need to follow me. You don't need to subscribe to any of my channels. You don't need to read any of my posts. You don't need to do any of that. And we don't need to say hello. Right? So it's like getting into that space and place within yourself that's confident in your discernment, confident in what you have learned, and confident with your motherfucking intuition. What you thought this classroom was, this life, this experience is to teach you. And if you want to keep on cycling, every day I'm cycling the same motherfucking bullshit, expecting different results, fuck out of here with that. No. But you got people that you've allowed in your life still, whether they be family, friend, or whatever the case may be, they've just been around for a hot minute, that cycle that bullshit, that cycle that repeat pattern. that don't do nothing different to make a motherfucking change. And so now it's like, nah, this Phoenix rise, it's happening. Surprise! What you thought this was, right? Sorry, I dropped this. So, hold on, guys. Right? So, sorry. Right? So, sorry. When the spell, the mermaid, popped out. So we'll look that up in a second too. But what I'm just trying to say is that certain kind of issues that may have been avoided or neglected, right? This press, right? It's pressing now because this energy is supportive. It's an opportunity for us to address these kind of issues in order to move forward, because it's the only way. And so if it seems confrontational, then so be it. You're not being disrespectful. You're not getting all like, I'm gonna kick your ass type of shit. Nah, if you're in that energy field, then you still got healing to do. But now you're in that Phoenix rise, and that Phoenix rise is gonna flap its motherfucking wings, and it's gonna flame, combust, right? Mermaid, what does that mean? What do you mean, God? Why is Siri listening to me? Okay, so fatally wounded by hunters, a young mermaid slowly sinks to the bottom of the sea, her beautiful existence snuffed out before she had a chance to develop her gifts and share them with the world. Right? So it's about wasted potential, killing or giving up on an idea before it has time to mature. I was talking about that too. In this woman that I used to work for, on her social media post, she posted something about that most people give up too soon before they see the results of their labor. They think that, and it was talking about like how, for your dream job or the legacy you're trying to build and all this kind of stuff, and whatever, to keep the job that you hate or that you dislike and all this kind of stuff, weaning yourself out, but while you're building your legacy, because the first 2 years or so you're gonna experience loss in that business because it doesn't have anything fruitful to gain, but you're putting in all the effort to gain something. And most people like KO out within a couple of months, like, oh, it's not producing anything. It was just like this chick that I had did a certain kind of live with and stuff like that. When I learned, I felt her attitude about it. Like, are you about this life or are you not? Or are you just about making money from this life? I'm about this life. I don't need this life doesn't support my life. That's not what I'm banking on here. It would be nice if it did. I'm not saying it doesn't flourish here and there and everywhere, like whatever the case may be. But when it comes to what I'm trying to create, that's legacy wealth. That takes time to build. Your reach, you want it to be far. Look at how long I've had my YouTube channel. 7 motherfucking years, 8 years. And now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be that long. It doesn't have to be that long. A lot of people cheat. A lot of people buy and cheat their way. I don't want to cheat. I want my shit organic. I want it real. I want real people watching my shit. I want it to reach real people. Right? So people have different takes on it and people have different attitudes about it. But this chick had a nasty attitude about, oh, this is not doing nothing for me. No shit, Sherlock, because you just fucking started. The fuck you thought this was? This is boot camp up in here. And not everybody's equipped for that shit. So we were talking about that on this woman that I used to work with on her social media post, because I was like, all I know is that those that like what did I say? Why I can't talk? What did I say? Right? I said, all I know is that the path of those resilient are not for the weak. And you're not weak. Don't get me emotional now. Right? So you got these hunters, right? They're gonna try to whack you out before you even think you made it, before you think you can feel it and stuff like that. So your resilience is a fucking gift. Is a gift. Whoever you want to associate that with, God, universe, divine, me is source creator of all time. Whatever name you want to give it whatever name you want to give it. For me, it's source. The one and only. Right? So, yeah. So here we are. You got these hunters and all this kind of shit. So now you have this invaluable opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Take it. Take it. Right? It's important to note, too, with eclipses, that because it's highly unpredictable, it can make it challenging. All right, so now you're equipped. You got your spiritual armor on, right? You are prepared for the unexpected twists and turns that this might bring. Right? Reattachment. Pulling back out. I like that. Right? I like this. So we're making this full transition, this Aries Libra eclipse cycle, and it's happening until 2025, right? Right? It's happening until 2025, right? And it's signaling. Feral child, why does this want to keep coming out? Okay. All right, there's big messages in here, right? Okay. The mutant is going to be... Somebody could be 37 years old, 35 years old, 50 years old, 52 years old, 53 years old, 55 years old. But yeah, so the mutant. The mutant, a grotesque creature, roams the field, the likes of which has never been seen before. Shit, why do I keep dropping cards? Made of multiple body parts in a haphazard arrangement, such a freak will undoubtedly have difficulty finding acceptance in the world. Something strange and unusual, an alteration, a new creation made by combining ordinary things in a unique configuration, a deformity, imperfection, malformation. Right? So that too, like, so it's like being a mutant, right? Being a mutant in this infected world. Because that's what's happening too. There's a lot of infections. There's a lot of disease. There's a lot of toxicities. There's a lot of things happening, right? So we have this, the presence of the North Node too, right? In Aries. And that ignites our passions. Definitely go watch my other videos. I know I post a lot of shorter videos and things like that are not like this and things like that. So that's why it's important to go check out my videos and see. But I did the full moon in Aries video, very informative, something you should check out, right? Because this North Node in Aries too, it ignites our passions, and it's propelling us towards our innovative self, right? Our innovative self. our innovative self-discovery, right? So, and the South Node being in Libra, it emphasizes the importance of achieving balance in our romantic relationships while nurturing ourselves through self-love and stuff and fostering our own independence, right? So if we reflect, blase, right? Somebody here could be 46 years old. You don't have to be. Could have been born in 1964. Don't have to be, right? Right. So back in April, back in April, there was an Aries solar eclipse, right? Right. And then now we're having another solar eclipse, the Libra one. And then we're going to have another one in March, which is Libra, full moon eclipse. And then in April 2024, I'm talking about, we're going to have another Aries solar eclipse. This is the Aries Libra eclipse cycle, right? And then in October, we're going to have another Libra solar eclipse 2024. And then March again, 2025, Aries solar eclipse. All right, so play that back. You know what I mean? But back in April of this year, 2023, Aries pushed us out of our comfort zones. And so now the Libra solar eclipse is urging us to embrace this transformation and rise from the ashes like the phoenix, right? And it's guided by the planet Venus, right? Which is the planet of love, right? And it's conjunct with Virgo, right? So, because when Venus aligns with Lilith during any eclipse, right, it signifies an opportunity for us to break free from external expectations, right, and assert our own desires, and particularly, especially in our own romantic relationships and in our own personal relationships, because it doesn't always have to be romantic. So this is like our intimate relationships, our close circle. Like, who's in your close circle and why? And do they deserve to be there? Because you're a divine being who's transformative in every kind of way. You got to be mindful about the company you keep. You just can't be allowing mofos up in here just because you love them. You know? Hold on. All right, so let's just go in a little bit more. Like, now that we're talking about the love side aspect of it, I switched up cards and stuff. This is more about pleasure, right? So we have to be mindful too, because the Libra solar eclipse, right, has the potential to unveil, right, hidden issues and weaknesses in our closest partnerships. And our response to these revelations will be a personal choice. And so being mindful about how you interpret and how you react and respond is going to be the dynamic, the balance that's happening here, right? Because the impact of like Libra's solar eclipse will vary for each of us, right? And so, like for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorns, right, this eclipse offers an opportunity for these cardinal zodiacs to confront past fears, right, and embrace newfound power, right, by setting the tone for the remaining eclipses in the Aries Libra cycle, right? Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, right? For this Libra solar eclipse, it may not bring a major karmic moment for these fixed signs, right? But it provides an excellent opportunity for inner healing, right? And then you have the mutables, which is Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces, right? So they're advised to focus on achieving spiritual balance and mindfulness during this solar eclipse. Sharpen your erotic intelligence. Erotic intelligence, coined by Dr. Esther Perel, means valuing and cherishing your excitement more than you value and cherish the rule. It means seeking the sublime in every day would be mundane moments. It means transcending the ordinary through the imagination. This is action. You are the star of this sensual film. You are a dashing romantic adventurer. You create your perspective and your grand narrative. So write your own story. Literally, even document your present or plot your future. Just don't look to another to unlock a passion only you yourself hold the key to. No one's your mind reader or your savior. Meet them halfway with erotic as well as emotional intelligence, right? I love that, right? And that's good, right? Because this upcoming solar eclipse is about embracing our transformation and our rebirth, right? It's in spellbound. So let's see what that says. We've all read the romance poets and heard the breakup songs, love is a drug, and it's usually infatuation, a fixation, a desperate longing, a fever, dream. But I get this a lot like with this twin flame stuff, right? Anyways, it's usually infatuation, a fixation, a desperate longing, a fever, dream, both anguished and sweet. A lot of this twin flame shit people be talking about is motherfucking toxic. Anyways, it's a spell we hope never breaks, yet break it we must. If we're ever going to uncover a sustainable relationship under the rubble of romantic self-wreckage. Action. Falling under another spell is delicious, but like dancing with fairies, if you stay too long in that trance state, you may never come back. You may be taken advantage of. You may lose yourself entirely in another instead of further buttressing your own empowerment. Stand firm. No one gets more of your time and energy than you do, right? So while this solar eclipse is revealing neglected aspects of our lives, right? The serpent. In a world that deals in oppression and dominance, empowerment is often equated with sin. Just as Eve was demonized for tasting the fruit of knowledge, so our contemporary culture still finds sexual self-awareness unappealing. But to know thyself is the mystic's greatest work and the lover's greatest test. Action. The more we know about ourselves, especially as shadow selves, the more we understand the people in our lives and society at scale. What are desires, fears, and drives are you repressing from yourself? How can you dig them up daily? How would your life transform if you embraced and integrated them without judgment? Don't be afraid to taste the fruit. Right? So Mars influence in the South Node can bring repressed anger to the surface. So if you have any issues, kind of like with love, it's requiring you to have composed communication, to have healthy communication. But first you have to have that with yourself, right? So timelines of pleasure. Your subconscious cannot tell the difference between reality and storytelling. It's a sponge for narrative, not an arbiter of truth. Past events that have hurt you, however real and impactful, can be rewritten in your subconscious in a way that allows you to shift your timeline, to change the story. Action. Dedicate sacred space, meditation, therapy, and journaling to reclaim your timeline. Go back to the memories you have of feeling unworthy of pleasure. Scan for evidence of your resistance, however small. What ways did you protect your safety, your dignity? How did you overcome? Your inner child is still in you. Give them permission to claim what's theirs. All right, guys. I really have to go. Till next time, we'll talk about this more. Bye.